How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, shapes, and forms? Welcome to episode 13, the finale of season 1 of Animu Wut Do. As always, I am Greg, and I'm joined here by the lovely Mira. Say hello. And of course, it always begins like that. It wouldn't be Animu Wut Do if we didn't start with that. All right, so first order of business, we're kind of recording this really last minute because we had this episode all done. We had this episode done like a few days ago. I guess it didn't record. I guess I pushed the preview button and not the record button. So,
GG!
yeah, where's the GG button, right? So, I kind of fucked that one up. So, we're going to have to, we're re-recording this right now. This is literally like the 11th hour. I'm supposed to upload this in an hour. So, we're kind of on borrowed time right now. I'm also getting ready to go on a trip to go visit Mira right here. And then all this crazy shit. It's like we had an hour of fun discussion and I completely fucked this up, but it's okay. We're going to re-record it and redo it. Secondly, to quickly go over it because I went over it last time on the recording you're never going to get to hear. Yes, season finale. The reasoning behind ending it at 13 episodes for the first season is a couple things. Number one, when you watch anime, it's usually 12 to 13 episodes when they end off on a season, and then they come back like 6 months later if it's popular or whatnot. So we're going to wrap up season 1 on this episode right here for episode 13. We're going to give us a little time. We'll announce at the end of the episode when we're going to be coming back and all that fun stuff. And it's also going to give us time to recharge, kind of revamp the show, figure out what worked, what didn't work, etc., and then come back in a few months. Like I said, I'll say at the end of the episode when we're coming back and all that fun stuff. And kind of come back bigger and better than ever, retool it, revamp it, see what worked, see what didn't, and go from there, which you can help us out with comments down below. That being said, we've got 2 topics we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be kind of splitting our time between the two. The first one is going to be the addendum to the last episode of Animu Wut Do, which I think last time I checked has over 1,000 views, which is fucking crazy. I guess a lot of people want to know about our opinion on the Dramatical Murder Dub for some weird reason. So thank you so much for anyone who checked out that video. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch the last episode of Animu Wut Do and then come here and listen to the addendum episode. We're going to talk about our thoughts on the anime. Between hearing clips of everybody and watching the first 3 episodes, we kind of have the 3 episode rule and all that fun stuff. And we're going to kind of go over what we thought of the dub. So I guess I'll just hand it over to Mira. General thoughts on the dub.
3 favorite voices are Noise, Mink, and Clear.
There, I think we have, actually, I gotta throw a 4th one up there, tied with Clear. It's fucking Tae-san. Tae-san's amazing. Tae-san's really great. I think she's fucking Marcy Banner voicing Tae-san, and she really is sassy grandma. I fucking love it.
She is.
She really is. We'll just bring it on down. I'm glad that I was right in my feeling of being happy that Chris Ayres being behind the project kind of brought quality to it. And I've mentioned it in the previous episode that if I see Chris Ayres associated with the Sentai Filmworks project, I usually associate that with like seeing Mike McFarland on a Funimation project. I know there's going to be some quality there, and it absolutely shows. I don't really see any other person taking hold of this show. There's a couple comments that people kind of brought up. One of them, and we'll address them as we go through this. The first one, we kind of heard the comment of some people say the dub's pretty cool. Some people say, it's all right. But there's the general consensus of at times they feel like the dub is confused. They don't know who they're catering to, and I like to call that dubbed yaoi syndrome. Because let's be real, especially because, I mean, of course the anime doesn't do the best of jobs to portray that part of it, but Dramatical Murder is a yaoi visual novel. It very much is a yaoi visual novel. They still kept the kiss between Noise and Alba in episode 3. Was it episode 3? Yeah, episode 3. So, remember, Noise kissed Alba first, so there you go.
And he's the only one that kisses him in the anime, so meh.
Hey, yo, fucking shots fired. Come at us, Mink fans. Actually, don't. I'm kidding. No, so, I guess in kind of that regard, how do you feel is how they kind of are, trying handling the whole series?
I had issues with Alba's voice, but otherwise everyone was pretty much on point.
So I get we'll just roll right on into that then. I didn't want it to be all awkward and stuff like that. Because it's just my own thing. So I guess we'll go right on into the individual voice actors. I'm also going to say I think they did pretty well. I think script writing is pretty good. We'll get to that in just a little bit. There's some silly moments, but like I said, we'll get to that. So we'll kind of go. I'm going to go quickly through all of the different people and kind of give our opinions. So we had Gabriel Rigojo as, I'm pronouncing that name wrong. It's like, yeah, Gabriel Rigojo as Alba. You said you had problems. Talk. Speak freely.
Yeah. Basically, like, Alba's whole thing with his character, like, his voice is the key part of his character because it's supposed to be kind of almost hypnotic in a way, where it's like, in a way, it kind of entices people to do what he kind of wants them to do.
That's hot.
And
too bad he's a Nuke.
Oh.
Well, go ahead anyway.
Well, I mean, part of him is, if you think about it.
Whoa, yeah, you're right.
But yeah, like for the dub, I feel like they could have gone a different way. But I mean, I don't know. His voice kind of grated on me at times. I'm like,
Well, I'm gonna say what I said in the recording that we lost, which I'm gonna make a lot of references to the fact that I lost the recording.
Never forget.
Right, seriously, GG Gerg, GG. No, but the best part is that I can at least hear that he's kind of growing into the character with each episode. That sounded awkward considering Dramatical Murder. Yeah, right. No, like he's kind of getting more into the character as each episode goes on, and I can feel him kind of getting a feel for how Alba is as a character as it goes on. I will readily admit. Just a disclaimer right here. These are just two people's opinions and stuff like that. Furthermore, we understand this is a professional company. These are professional voice actors. They got the job for a reason. And at least from what I'm able to hear, they at least put some care and attention into this dub. They didn't half-ass it in any way, shape, or form. And that I can at least give them that credit. And, again, they're professionals. They do this for a reason. They've obviously were casted because the casting director and the director Chris Ayers heard something that they liked, and they made the decision for a reason, regardless of if people agree with it or not. That's for people to debate, but also respect, which is what we're doing. We have our critiques and criticisms, but at the end of the day, I do respect every single person who got to work on this show. And at the end of the day, as I'll say at the end, I'm glad they didn't half-ass the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I will admit, the first episode's a little rough as far as Alba goes. Like, everyone else in episode 1 is pretty great. Especially Tae-san. I fucking love Tae-san. I fucking love Marcy Banner as Tae-san. And Mizuki is one of my favorites as well in that first episode. That's Adam Gibbs who voices Mizuki. Alba's a little rough in that first episode, I will readily admit. But the thing that I can give Gabriel some credit for is as each episode goes on, he gets better. And he gets more invested in the character, it seems like. And he's kind of, all right, so this is kind of how the character is. I'm getting into it more, and I can hear it with each episode. Each episode gets better with Alba, in my opinion. And I think Alba was my least favorite voice, but it made me happy knowing that even though the first episode for Alba was a little rough, he steadily improves with each episode. And even
he's like, this is a little gay, but I'm feeling it now.
I'm feeling it now. No, he's probably like, I need to get into the gay. All right, I'm in that gay zen. I'm good. We're good.
Gay zen.
Yeah, that gay zen. So some gen.
He's gazing into your eyes.
Yo, that's perfect. I love it. But so yeah, no, that's my thought on Alba. So I guess Mira said, yeah, it's grating at times, but I mean, it's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Yeah, you probably wager say he was probably your least favorite in the dub, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll readily admit that, but at the same time, we respect he got the job for a reason, and like I said, he gets better with each episode, which means he gives a shit. He really at least cares about the character if he keeps putting even more effort into it, and that says a lot because there's some roles from other voice actors. I'm not going to bring up the show or the character, but you know exactly who I'm talking about, that sometimes it doesn't feel like their heart's there. But at least with Gabriel, I mean, also put into consideration, I think this is one of his first main roles too. So it's like
Hmm.
to be able to grow in a show that's like one of your first main roles, like that already shows something cool. And that's already a good thing in my book. So that's my comment on Alba. So we got David Wald as Ren. Ren sounded great. I loved Ren. Ren just it fit perfectly in my opinion. What about you?
Oh, but no.
Alba no. I want to meet David Wald just to have him say Alba no,
Oh,
and then have him go Alba no.
oh, but yes.
Maybe
Oh, but maybe.
Alba maybe. No, Ren was pretty great. I liked it. His whole monotonous voice works for Ren because he is a robot. Excuse
Robit.
me. Excuse me. He's an Almate, not a robot. Excuse me. I'm sorry to offend any Dramatical Murder fans. Sorry. We'll get to the robot in just a minute. I guess we could just transit. No, we got it. I got one more. So we already kind of touched on Mizuki. I loved Mizuki. Yeah, I would wager. Mizuki was great. I love, like I said earlier, that was Adam Gibbs who was Mizuki, and that was fucking great. Let's see, Kojaku, or in the dub, Kojaku. It's the only bad thing about Kojaku is that he's pronounced Kojaku. I think David Matranga though is pretty great as Kojaku.
I'm going back to Mizuki for a second because I'm remembering a line that really made me laugh with him when
Oh
he
yeah,
was
go
talking
ahead.
with when he was talking with Alba in the alleyway whenever he was encountered by the other Ribsties team. Mizuki is kind of like he has this line where he drops his voice and he looks over at Alba and he goes, "But no, seriously, you did break that guy's jaw, right?"
Yeah, that was awesome. It was like
I
Mizuki,
lost my
please.
shit. I'm like, "Are you kidding me
It's like
right now,
Mizuki,
Mizuki?"
please. It's like, but no, seriously though. It's like legit though. That's fucking great. I love it. And then going back to David Matranga's Kojaku. I liked his Kojaku. It was really great.
He definitely wasn't the worst Kojaku, but he actually like you could tell he was trying with it.
He was trying. Well, Kojaku. See, Kojaku seems hard to cast because he needs someone who can.
Kojaku is like a flamboyant Bertolt.
He's like a flamboyant Berthold that's also a lady killer. It's
Hmm.
hard to explain, man. No pun slightly intended. Um, yeah. But yeah, he was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I'm trying to find who voiced Benny. Benny was fucking funny, dude.
I don't know, but whoever voiced
Oh,
Benny,
Kyle
Jesus
Jones.
Christ.
Kyle Jones was Benny. Kyle Jones is
Okay.
both Benny and Panda. That's fucking Benny was great. I loved Benny. And then fucking Alba in the second episode, the first and second episode, because Benny is a cardinal and he's all like, "Just go back to St. Louis where you belong." I'm like, "Fucking hell, really?"
And as someone who was born and raised in Missouri, like that's our home team, St. Louis Cardinals. So as soon as I heard that line, I lost my shit. I'm like, "Are you
Well,
kidding
the
me
best
right
part
now,
is I
Alba?"
was watching it and like you were on Skype with me as we were watching it, and as we were both respectively watching the show, and fucking that line came up and you're like, "What?" And you
I
started dying
literally
of
stopped
laughter.
where I was standing. I was like, "Are you kidding me right
You're
now?"
like, "Is this for real? Are we for real right now?" That's awesome. It's so
And then
fucking
we played
funny.
it again, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, he did."
Yeah, that's awesome. It was fucking funny. Fucking, and that goes into like some people are confused, like, well, they don't know if they want to be serious or comedic, or if they want to touch on the yaoi undertones and stuff like that. Well, I just want to address this bit, the script writing right now. I know we're all over the place. I'm also in a rush, and I'm sorry about that. But I really kind of do like the script writing because the way that I see it, there's like I mentioned before, there's kind of dubbed yaoi syndrome where they acknowledge that it is a yaoi or there is or that it is a shonen ai or whatever. They acknowledge that, but they can sometimes really change the script to get rid of that. And the show itself, like it has its own flavor to it, but at the same time, there's still some very familiar lines from the Japanese, and I think that's my. It's a personal thing for me. Those are my kind of favorite dubs, because sometimes a literal translation, number six, doesn't work all that
Uh,
well, and then there's other shows that they completely just what's it called? They just completely rewrite everything, and it doesn't work. But I like the balance of making it your own, but kind of keeping very familiar things from the show. For example, we'll get into Trip and Virus in just a moment. A lot of their lines are like, they mentioned that they're Alba's biggest fans. They both at the same time mentioned that they're not twins. A bunch of shit like that. And then even though there's the complaint about Alba's voice, they still kind of made it clear in the script that like, oh, you like my what? You like my what the fuck? Like at the beginning,
they made it clear.
And then clear, he's a little robot, and he calls Alba Master like he did in Japanese, and it was adorable. God, where do we want to go from here? Do we want to, because I touched on Trip and Virus, and let's just touch on Trip and Virus real quick. So Doug Hammond is Virus, and Blake Shepard is Trip. That's fucking awesome. I love Trip and Virus. I love the way they let me rephrase that. I'm not fans of the characters, but the way that they handled the characters in English, I love that so much. Because for those who don't know, when they dub anime, unlike in Japan where they dub it in a generally a bigger room with multiple voice actors at the same time, it's always a one-man show in the booth. It's always you, and then you got the director, and then a sound engineer, and maybe a couple other like people on the technical side that are there, but you never record with another person. And also sometimes you might be recording to a full English track, you might be recording to a full Japanese track because you're the first to record. You might be recording with half Japanese, half English. It all kind of depends on where you're scheduled in to dub anime. But and the big part about Trip and Virus is they have to kind of meld their vocabulary and meld their speech and meld their lines together. And in the
to use
dub,
an example, it's almost like the Hitachi twins from Oron, how they have to kind of play off each other.
Which I've heard horror stories from Greg Ayers as to how horrible that was and how much him and Todd hated recording them. Which sucks.
I can only imagine.
Well, the funny part is, we'll get to Greg Ayers in just a moment, but I saw a recent panel with Greg Ayers saying that he actually does not like his work on Oron because of how much of a pain in the ass it was to record it. He said both him and Todd kind of have not a disdain for it, but it wasn't the greatest recording experience because of how the twins are and how they needed to record it. And they said it was a pain in the ass and they did not like the process.
It was definitely a journey.
Yeah. So I can only imagine how it was for Blake Shepard and Doug Hammond for recording Trip and Virus. But it sounds awesome. And I would absolutely kind of give them credit saying, hey, your guys playing off of each other's Trip and Virus was awesome. I mean, I at least liked it. I'm sorry.
We're not twins. We're not twins, okay?
Right. And I can probably, I'm not going to judge for you, but you'll give your opinion on Trip and Virus right now. You said you liked the way that they did their delivery as well, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I mean, they're Trip and Virus. They're interesting characters if you don't know anything about them. But, they're literal garbage. They're worse than like Tsukiyama trash or Oikawa trash. They are literal trash.
They are literal trash cans.
They are trash cans. They absolutely are literal trash cans. But no, they were pretty great, and I like the way they handled them in the dub. Speaking of Greg Ayers and recording, Greg Ayers is clear. People are kind of giving Greg Ayers shit, and I kind of want to step up in defense of Greg Ayers, and I want to say he is a really amazing clear.
I don't see where the hate's coming from. He's so precious.
He's adorable. I love him as clear. It's a different, you can still tell it's Greg, but it's a different tone for Greg, and I absolutely love that. And his delivery for Clear's lines are perfect, and I fucking love it. It's pretty awesome. Clear is one of my favorites in the dub, I will straight up admit, and I love it to death. And GG. We kind of already touched on Marcy Banner as Taeson. She literally is Sassy Grandma. She's amazing. There's a reason why when we did the podcast awards for our podcast called the Snazzy Cast, which you can vote for your favorite anime dub and best anime down below. There's a reason why we nominated Marcy Banner. I mean, she didn't make it to the final nominations, but we nominated Marcy Banner as our list of people to nominate just because of Taeson, because it was so good.
Just to mention her, it's like,
she deserves a Taeson award all on her own. Like, holy shit. Can we give her the Sassy Grandma award? That'd be amazing. Fucking Marcy Banner is like, shit. For all intents and purposes, she's the best part of the dub, except for the next couple people we're going to get to who are also the best parts of the dub. Um. So no, Martian Manhunter was great. So let's talk noise in Mink because I think we're kind of the same opinion. Andrew Love is Mink. Jesus Christ, that man. If women aren't swooning over his voice, then dude, holy shit! Oh my god, he's got a hot
If
voice for
women
Mink,
and
dude.
men aren't swooning over that voice.
Dude, he's got some. Ooh, he's got a pretty fucking deep voice, and it is pretty awesome. And I loved your reaction to it. You kind of had a little mini freak out, like ooh, man, that's hot. Like, yo, I mean, dude, dude, deep voices are hot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Dude, Mink sound. He's got the deep voice, and he sounds great as well. So I think it's safe to say we both like him. And now for noise, I'm gonna let you tell the story about when we heard noise and kind of your opinion on noise because I'm just gonna say this right now. Noise is my favorite in the dub. And would you wager to say noise is one of your favorites, if not your favorite?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
You want to tell the story about when you heard noise's voice?
Okay, so you were watching it, and I was listening to the sound of it whenever we were talking on Skype, and you were like, "Okay, noise is coming up," because I had heard a voice, and I was like, "Who was that?" And you're like, "Well, that was noise," and I was like, "Play that one more time." You rewound a little bit and played noise again, and as soon as I heard him, I dropped my tablet. I was like, "Oh my god, it's noise!"
You dropped your tablet and you're just like, oh, like you literally made the noise that I've identified thanks to May, which is anytime
You made the noise.
and made the noise. You made a noise. You're just like, it's the voice of I know you're getting hot and bothered by this voice. You just went like, you dropped it and you're like, you went like, oh, and then it's all of a sudden it went silent. I heard, and I'm like, what just happened? You're all, I just dropped my tablet. Oh my god. I was like, oh.
Sure, let's phrase it like that. Okay.
Hey, dude, it was fucking hilarious. That's okay. I threw my phone to the side and went, hot damn. Like, I love noise. Noise is my favorite. And then I hear the voice of Corey Hartzog as Noise, which I don't think he's done too much. I'm looking it up right now. But Corey Hartzog is Noise. Oh, no, he's done a few things. He needs to do a whole hell of a lot more after Noise, because holy fuck, dude. Yeah.
He needs to get Captain Nozaki-kun as Tomoda.
He needs to be Tomoda. That would be fucking amazing. Oh my god.
Because the Japanese seiyuu of Noise was Tomoda.
Right, seriously. It's fucking amazing. But, no, dude, seriously, like, Noise is really good. And ooh. I'm coming down with a case of the vapors.
Okay, John Tron.
I have fallen, and I choose not to get up. No, he's pretty great. And then a quick shout out to Clint Bickham, who voices Say. And dude, he hits the heartbreaking moments with Say. Say it ain't so. Let me tell you what. Yeah, Clint. Dude, he was fucking amazing as Say. It was heartbreaking. So
He
it was
broke
really cool.
my heart.
He really, yeah, seriously. There's a bunch of other people we can talk about. I mean, we can outline. We like, I'm trying to find him who voices
Akushima.
Akashima. Yeah, Akashima is fucking great. Fucking Mark Laskowski or Laskowski, excuse me. Fucking he was great. Yeah.
What
dude.
little time he was there, he was great.
He was awesome. He was funny. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I guess now that we kind of wrapped up that, I mean, we're going to wrap this up and go on to our next topic. Kind of wrap this up overall. Thoughts now that we've kind of addressed all these things. I know it seems rushed and stuff like that. It's mainly because I fucked up the recording. We had a lot more of a bigger discussion last time. I think it was like 35 minutes. We're still at 24 minutes, but still. No, but final thoughts as far as the Dramatical Murder Dub. Would you give it a chance? Give it a thumbs up? Give it a thumbs down? Thumbs 3/4 going up? Actually, let's not get that complicated. Would you give it a thumbs up? Thumbs down? Would you recommend it?
I still say everybody check out the game first, but I mean, for this, considering the fact that Sentai dubbed this, I say go watch it. It's worth a watch.
I would say it's worth a watch too. I mean, we kind of bring it up. We brought it up in the last episode that I mean, we could get a little critical of like say Sentai because there's been some dubs they put out that are great in our opinion, and other dubs that they've put out in our opinion that weren't that great. So it was kind of like
Mira's not all that great with Sentai dubs.
right, but I mean, and you know they it's kind of like a coin flip on if it's good or bad, and you can kind of judge with who's behind it. And I kind of said it in the last episode that Chris Ayres is in charge of it, so I kind of can sigh of relief because I know he is a quality director over there, and I really feel like he's delivered. He's made a show that I feel like at its core doesn't ignore the source material, which can be a problem with dubbing things like Yaoi. He doesn't ignore the source material, and it sounds pretty solid. I would wager to say I like it better than the dub of Free, and there is some pretty good talent in Free. Mainly Ian Sinclair because he's dreamy as hell. But no, there's plenty of good people in Free, but I feel like
Jerry Jewell.
dude, well, I mean, that's a different conversation for a different day, but there's history with one specific character in Free that I do not like. And the lucky part is that the one character I'm critical of in Dramatical Murder, he's already improving, and he was already improving as each episode went on. So I can say, unlike the other person in Free that I did not like, he never improved, in my personal opinion. And again, keeping it vague. But yeah, just seeing the growth that he's had as he's getting more into the character. And then seeing everyone else's performances, it's really good, and I recommend it. I would give it the 3-episode rule. I would give it 3 episodes. If you like the dub or you think the dub is at least tolerable, continue watching the dub. If not, there's an option on the DVD to watch it in Japanese with your English subtitles. Everybody wins. The way that I say it, and I said this in the recording that we lost, is regardless of if you like the dub or not, I would still absolutely say pick it up. Pick it up through Sentai, support the company. They went through the effort to, at bare minimum, give you the ability to watch it in its native language and be able to buy it in North America without jacked up imported prices. So I'd say that's cool enough in my book. Absolutely, if you loved the anime, still pick it up regardless. Give the dub a shot. You may like it. If you don't like it, that's totally cool with us. You're still supporting the company. So that's kind of the last that I have to say about Dramatical Murder. So yeah, we would give it our thumbs up seal of approval. Go check it out. It absolutely was not the train wreck we were predicting it would be when we first got the announcement. And I am so thankful we were wrong. I'm absolutely going to say that. I'm so thankful we were wrong. And I'm glad that a fairly quality dub has come out for Dramatical Murder. And hopefully that shows that maybe other shows that are kind of more of a yaoi can get more of a justified dub. You know, hopefully this kind of opens up a gateway for people in more ways than one. Open up a gateway for people for companies to be able to say, you know what? Shows that are yaoi related, we can dub it and take it seriously and give it the justice that it deserves. So I hope it opens up a new gate for shows like Dramatical Murder. And it makes me hopeful and stuff like that. So there you go.
And if you don't like the dub, you can always just switch it over to Japanese and listen to it that way.
Absolutely. Like I said before, you can still pick up the DVD regardless. Watch it however you want to. Who knows? You may even like the dub. And if you don't, hey, that's totally cool. We're all fans of Dramatical Murder. That's the important part. We can all talk about the show in the game. So that's what I have to say about that. That's what we have to say about that. Buy an anime box set. It'll change your fucking life. And it'll keep anime out here. And if you don't buy box sets, get a subscription somewhere like Funimation or Crunchyroll or something, because that still supports the industry. So that was our PSA. So that being said, let's talk about animes that we missed. Let's go right into the next topic, which is anime. I'll let Mira kind of take control on this one. So this is the final topic we're going to be discussing for season 1 of Animu Wut Do. And the topic is shows that we missed. And I'll let Mira explain. Now we're going to do it. She's going to sit down, she's going to explain the rules and go through all 3 of her picks, and then I'll talk about my picks. So go ahead, you have the floor, Mira.
Alright, I'm calling this You Missed the Boat.
You missed the boat!
So we're breaking it down into 3 categories. The first one is shows that we missed and never plan on watching. The second one is shows that we missed but we watched later. And then the third category is shows that we missed but we plan on watching in the future.
And I'm going to pretend like I'm surprised and this is the first time that I've heard any of this. So go ahead.
Thanks.
I know. Yeah, you could pretend to be surprised at my choices.
There you go.
All right, so go ahead. I'll let you take the lead.
The show that I missed, but I don't plan on watching, is Parasite,
All right, fair enough.
because that's a weird fucking looking show.
It just doesn't appeal to you, basically.
Yeah, and this is like coming from someone who grew up with horror movies and some weird shit like that. And it's like, I looked at the clip that I saw whenever they were airing it for the Toonami block, and I was just like, yeah, no, sorry. But it's weird, like having eyes and mouths on your hands and shit.
Well,
And like
I think it's completely different when you think about the whole aspect of like
and like
something
eyeballs on your fingertips.
something inside of you, something is living inside of you that wasn't originally living inside of you. That's just creepy in a whole other way.
Kaneki.
Oh, dude. Dude, I love Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
Yo, what's 1,000 minus 7? It's a different episode for a different day. So,
Oh, I love air.
dude, Diabolical Lovers was amazing. I'm kidding. It was all right.
Okay.
All right. So that choice was Parasite, and then anime that you missed out on, but then watched later on.
Dead Man Wonderland.
Ah, such a good show.
I missed it on was it Adult Swim at that time, or was
It was
Disney?
the first block Toonami ever had when they came back on the air. Casher in Sin and Dead Man Wonderland were the two new shows that they aired.
Okay, well, like, I had missed that block whenever it happened, and I kind of looked at the commercials, and I was just kind of like, I don't really get what's going on, and I'm not sure if I want to watch this, but then I got Funimation and Crunchyroll, and I found it on Funimation's app, and I'm just like, okay, why not? It's a short little show, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh.
So good. Talk about another show that Greg Ayers is in. He voices
Ganta.
I'm trying to remember his name. And then Monica Rial voicing Shiro.
My girl.
Dude, it's fucking great. It's fucking awesome. No, Dead by One is a great show. And conversely, on my end, I watched the show when it aired on Toonami. So, like, as you were messaging me, I'm like, oh, she's not ready. She is not fucking ready.
I wasn't ready.
Right. You weren't ready. And that's actually going to...
The ending wrecked me so bad.
Well, the ending wrecked me in a completely different way, which is, again, a different episode for a different day, where we can have our point counterpoint why you like the ending and why I hate the ending.
Yeah.
I think May and I are in a similar boat, so her and I will get on that, and then you and we'll find another person who liked the ending, and we'll do point counterpoint. But yeah, yeah, dude, that was a good show. Absolutely, I love it. I love it a lot. So go ahead and for your final show.
Okay, so a show that I missed, but I plan on watching because I have it in my room and I've had it for like a few years now. Shuffle.
Yo, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot what it was.
Shuffle is a really weird kind of looking harem anime where this boy kind of goes to school with angels and demons and whatnot. And one day, like, one of his classmates, or two of his classmates, one of them is the daughter of, like, the king of demons, and the other one is the daughter of, like, the king of angels. And they basically come to his class, and he has to decide which one he wants to marry.
Whoa, dude, visual novel much.
Basically.
Right,
and then, like,
yeah.
throw other girls in the mix, and it's just like, oh, this poor guy.
Yeah, this guy. So hilarious hijinks.
It's like Negima all over again. It's like,
I
oh,
never
no.
watched Negima. I never watched Negima.
It's okay.
And while we're on anime confessions. Cool, awesome. So those are your 3 picks. So in the original recording, I had 2 for the first one, and I had 2 for the last one. I'm just gonna whittle it down to 1 for each of them because I can narrow down the one that I will never watch more than the second one, and then the one that I absolutely need to watch more than the second one. So for show that I missed out on and I will never watch, Love Live. Love Live, that is the idol girl show that has taken the male and somewhat female population by storm. The idol girl extravaganza that I think is a waifu trap and will never watch. No, okay. My big thing is that I'm not a fan of idol girl shows at all. I feel like whenever I go to Anime Expo and I watch the dance AMV category, I've seen every single idol girl show. because they use the same 3 clips from like Idolmaster and Love Live and shit. I'm like, all right, well, I've seen the show. I don't need to watch the show.
Basically.
Yeah, basically. Especially, oh my god, especially last year, the 2014 AMV contest, 4 of the 5 AMVs were all the same Idol Girl clips. And it's like, how does it get past? No, seriously, how does that get past quality control from Anime Expo? I was like, are you kidding me? I've now seen these shows 4 times in a row.
There
But
are
no,
waifu traps. Who's gonna notice?
right? Yeah, seriously. No, but in all honesty, it doesn't appeal to me, and I wasn't. To show you how much it is, I played the game, the Love Live game, for about an hour and kind of said, this is boring. Fuck this, and I just stopped playing it. And I know I have so many people who are like, they love Live is amazing. They play the game all the time. They're playing on super hard, ultra difficulty, turbo mode, and they're getting all the extra daily shit. And they love the show, and they're doing cosplays of it. And I'm like, cool. I'm glad you guys love it. I'm never gonna watch it.
Yeah, to preface this, we're not saying we absolutely hate this and it needs to die or anything.
Right.
It's just not our cup of tea.
It's just shit that I'm not gonna watch.
Basically.
And shout out to my dad for giving me a milkshake.
I want a milkshake.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'll be hanging out with you over the weekend, so milkshakes away. Okay.
There we go.
So, show that I didn't watch right away, but then I watched later on, Nozaki-kun. I was about 8 months late to the boat on Nozaki-kun, which doesn't sound like much, but with kind of how today's anime is, that like now we have the ability to watch simulcast subbed shows like on the flip of a dime on places like Crunchyroll or Funimation or whatever, like by legal means, you know, not trading in a back alleyway for your Sailor Moon uncut episodes in trade for drugs, but you know, like the legal way. Everyone told me how great Nozaki-kun was, and there's going to be a theme here. I don't take hype very well, in the sense of like, if people are talking about a show, I generally don't watch it. It's the problem I'm currently having with One Punch Man. Everyone's saying how great the show is, and I'm sure it's a great show, and when I watch One Punch Man, I'm sure I'm going to fall in love with the show like what happened with Nozaki-kun. I'm just waiting. That's what happened to me with Nozaki-kun. Everyone, especially one person in particular, kept bugging me. You need to watch Nozaki-kun. Why in your list of shows you're going to watch next, Nozaki-kun isn't on there? You need to watch Nozaki-kun. Watch Nozaki-kun. Nozaki-kun is great. You'll love Nozaki-kun. And I'm like, shut up. I don't want to watch Nozaki-kun now, thanks to you. So I waited like 8 months. And then like 8 months later, you know, here I am. I'm holed up with a broken foot and nothing to do. And I saw that our friend Kari from K&K Streams started watching Nozaki-kun. And I kind of, she kind of asked me like, hey, have you watched Nozaki-kun at all? I'm like, I haven't really. She's like, okay, I'm going to just send you this clip with no context. And it was the S-curve pose scene. And, like, the thing that I love about Kari is she doesn't, like, she gets hyped, but she doesn't overhype. She'll be like, yo, I'm really excited for this. Or, yo, I'm watching this show. I would absolutely recommend it. And she leaves it at that. And that's what I love about what people like Kari do. And she's like, I just want to leave this for you. And if you like this clip, I would recommend checking out the show. I watched that clip, and the next day I was watching Nozaki-kun. And I'm glad I did, and I loved it, and I'm glad that I was able to watch it after the hype had died down, because I was able to really enjoy the show. So, Nozaki-kun is a show that I watched later, and another show that will take that spot, and I'm going to predict it, is One Punch Man. I'm going to watch One Punch Man once the hype's died down a little bit, and I'm sure I'm going to fall in love with the show. And who knows, May and I might do a One Punch Man Animu Wut Do in Season 2. We'll see how that goes. But, I mean, yeah, I'm absolutely... I will. Those are. I guess that's technically 2 answers, but the one that I actually did watch later on was Nozaki-kun, and I absolutely loved it. And then
Inadvertently, like my introduction to Nozaki-kun was the frigging Dojin scene.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to me, and I. We showed you the freaking when they played the dating sim, and then they were so upset that Tomoda wasted 3 years without finding love. They wrote the Dojin for him. That ended up being a Yaoi Dojin, which was fucking amazing.
And then Chio goes to the apartment like, are you guys okay?
So
what
good.
happened? And then they showed her the Dojin, and she's like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know what's wrong with you guys. It was so good. It was so great, though. But yeah, like, Nozaki-kun absolutely,
you showed me that scene, and then like a month later, I marathoned it, and I'm just like, oh my god, what is my life right now.
You're like, how have I missed the show? Why did I not give the show a chance earlier? I love it so much.
And then I was running on no sleep, so I'm just like, oh my god, this show.
It's so good. It's so good. And like I said, I'm so glad I watched it without the hype on it. Because when I watch a show that's overhyped, I get super critical and pick it apart. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to not have that happen with Nozaki-kun, and I'm so glad I did that, which is also why I'm glad I'm going to be doing that with One Punch Man, because once I've got that hype out of my mind, I'm not going to pick it apart, and I'm going to love it. So, there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait even longer for One Punch Man because I have one friend in particular on Facebook that
You're
keeps
having
bugging
the
me.
same
Oh my
thing-
god, you
I
need to
would
watch
say,
this,
yeah.
and I'm like,
You're having the same thing happen to you with One Punch Man that happened with me and my one friend about Nozaki-kun. So just,
and
give
she
it a few
keeps
months.
bombarding me about it, and I'm like, oh.
Right, just wait a few months, wait for your friend to stop talking about it, and then you can be like, all right, now I can watch it. So there you go. And now for the last thing, the show that I am planning on watching. Now I'm gonna say the picture is of Durarara, and Durarara is one of the shows that I had on this list. But I'm gonna do it in order of what the creator of Durarara did first, which means I'm absolutely gonna fucking watch Baccano. Like, holy shit, I'm so excited because the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna watch Baccano and then watch Durarara because I missed out on Durarara completely. Because I watched the first episode and then like my parents were divorced and I was young at the time, so I was still going back and forth when it was airing on Adult Swim. So I watched episode 1, I missed episode 2, and then I watched episode 3. I'm like, I'm lost. I'm gonna drop the show because I'm so lost. But and there wasn't like, and back then Crunchyroll didn't have such a huge presence, and trying to find shit on like Adult Swim was not the best. And then there's illegal means, which I was still a noob at that, and I was like, I'm not even gonna chance it, so I'll just skip out on the show. And now that the show's on like Crunchyroll, I could just watch it on Crunchyroll and it'd be fucking amazing. Yeah, it makes me excited. I can watch it on Crunchyroll and I'll be like, it's legal and I'm catching up on it finally. But no, I own the box set for Baccano. What's up?
I said, right?
Yeah, seriously. But no, I own the box set for Baccano. I got it at AX this year and I'm like, I want to watch it. And I'm absolutely going to watch it over the break for Animu Wut Do, and you and I are going to do a fucking episode on Baccano, especially because people have described it to me as it is like the Pulp Fiction of anime, and Pulp Fiction is like my number one favorite movie of all time. I love the characters in Pulp Fiction. I love how everyone is important in Pulp Fiction. I love the weird, awkward storytelling that kind of, as you finish the movie, you see how all the stories tie together in a weird way, and I hear that is exactly how Baccano is, and I'm like, I'm already excited. I can't wait.
Baccano is such a good show. It needs all the love that it can get.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's like it is. The cool part is that like the people that I know who have seen Baccano, like they love the show, but they're not like obnoxious about it. They're like, no, we love the show so much. Please just check it out. It's really good. I'm like, all right, cool, I will.
Yeah,
so, it's pretty awesome, and I love it. And so that's the show I missed out on, and I'm going to eventually watch. So I think that's about it. Is there anything else we need to wrap up before we wrap up season 1?
if anybody wants to go watch Baccano, it's on Funimation.
Yeah, get that Funimation subscription. And if you don't, this is not a sponsor read. I promise you not. You can get a 14-day trial of Funimation of their streaming service, and then you can just marathon it, and then everything is grand. And then you can marathon Gangsta, because that's my recommendation. Gangsta was a good dub.
And Dead Man Wonderland.
And Dead Man Wonderland's on there, and Death Parade's on there, and Tokyo Ghoul's on there, and Attack on Titan's on there. There's a lot of good shit on Funimation. What makes you happy? It sounds like a sponsor.
And then Durarara is on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, dude. Just get both.
And I believe Love Stage and Dramatical Murder are both on Crunchyroll as well.
Yeah, both of them are on there as well. So is Nozaki-kun and a show we talked about earlier on, Haikyuu, which season 2 has been airing and it's been fucking amazing. It's a shame we can't nominate it for podcast awards this year because it's not going to finish its run by the end of 2015. But that means we're going to nominate it next year for next year's podcast awards. So yeah, it's going to be cool. So all right, well, I think if that's about it, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Animu Wut Do, and thank you guys for checking out season 1. It means a lot that this show, which is kind of an idea that I had that I approached Mira with, and she helped come up with the first episode, which was K, which I'm really glad that it kind of went from, we kind of were able to springball it from there. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. How did you enjoy doing Animu Wut Do this first kind of run of it?
It's really fun because now I get to do a little more on TSG instead of just the podcast, since I can't really game that much.
Right. Yeah. Well, because you're out in Missouri and technology, you don't have like the greatest of technology out there. But
Or at least not at my house, no.
no, I totally get you. Yeah, and it's like we're in the process of upgrading technology here, so it's like you're gonna be seeing even more with Mira, and we got some new shows coming up that Mira's gonna be a part of. So like, don't think that because Animu Wut Do is ending, this is the last you're gonna hear of Mira until Animu Wut Do comes back. Because there's a new show that we're doing. We're gonna start at the beginning of the year. That's an immediate show we're doing. That I'm not gonna reveal it yet, but it's possibly gonna be replacing the spot where Animu Wut Do was, kind of in the off season of Animu Wut Do, and it's absolutely gonna include Mira because it's right up her alley, and you'll love it. I'll tell you after this is done. But yeah, thank you guys so much for season one. If you enjoyed it, please let us know. Give us your thoughts, your comments, your ideas for future topics, for shows you want to check out. I know there's people earlier on who gave like a. There was one person in particular that gave like 3 different sports animes they wanted us to check out. And don't worry, that's coming in season 2. I will confirm that one of the episodes for season 2 is going to be Sports Anime Frenzy, where May, Mira, and I are going to sit down and talk about a sports anime. One of them, like one of, if not like all of them, are going to be covered in some way, shape, or form that were recommended. But we're going to do Sports Anime Frenzy, which is going to be really cool. I want to do some more top 10s because those are always a lot of fun. And then possibly a thing about like a voice actor profile where we'll break down like an English voice actor and a Japanese voice actor that are associated with each other in some way, shape, or form. Like they share multiple characters together, and kind of do like a voice actor profile and just kind of gush over them for 30 to 45 minutes. Who knows what the future has in store for Animu Wut Do, but yeah, do give us your feedback, your comments, all the different things that you want to hear about on Animu Wut Do. And on April 21st, 2016, Season 2 will debut. So we got a few months. We're going to have a little downtime. We're going to regroup, revitalize, and get everything all ready. And then on Thursday, April 21st, 2016, is when Season 2 of Animu Wut Do will come back. So thank you guys so much for going with us on this 13-episode journey. We really can't wait. And we'll see you guys in April. Actually, like, you'll see us on TSG. Please go check out all the other TSG stuff. But we'll see you on Animu Wut Do in April 2016. Thank you guys so much. See you later.
See you next Animu time.
Nice.